Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had fought no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is CheapSeat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to CheapSeat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. This is episode 152, and today we are talking about Interstellar. I am Shawn, your captain, and joining me tonight is Andrew. Humor setting is 100% Jemison.
Well, hi there, little buddy.
Holy crap, that was loud. Hold on.
I'd say.
What about the flat tire?
Oh, crap.
Murph got into a fistfight with
Stop.
several of her classmates.
This is fantastic.
This is great. Just let it roll.
No, I don't want to play all of them. Damn it. Okay, so...
Take two.
Okay, so basically what happened is my normal computer that does my audio is down, and I'm having to use a different one, and I don't have any of those little things where I tell it to, like, not to play to the next one, like, set. So, damn it.
This is going to be fun.
You stop. Shit. Anyway, so yes, we'll start that. Andrew, humor setting is 100% Jemison.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. Corny, honesty level is about 50% Logan.
That's funny.
Yes, it is. And Sam, trust level is way less than yours, Vector.
Hi, I'm Michael Caine.
Thank you.
Michael Caine. We're in a Christopher Nolan movie, so we got to have a Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. It's funny because Michael Caine was actually in a movie called Raising Caine. So I bet you that was, I don't know. I think it's funny. Maybe not.
Way too meta.
No, it's probably just too bad of a dad joke, actually. All right, so thank you for that. Interstellar, 2000 and something's Interstellar. I don't know, for some reason I don't have the IMDb page pulled up. 2014, Sam?
14.
2014's Interstellar. Yep. Great. So let's pull up a comfy chair, a captain's chair, and dive into this movie of Interstellar, somethings.
Travel.
Yeah, Interstellar. I can't spell either. Stella. There we go. Yeah. What am I supposed to say? I feel lost right now. I don't know why. I'm really all just confused because my computer's not working. So, we if you've been listening to the show at all, bless you and thank you.
And you haven't. Yeah.
And you'll know that there's been some kind of weird little feud between me and Sam about this particular movie. And I'm really excited to talk about it. And if you're expecting an episode where it's going to be an hour and a half of he and I arguing about this movie, you might not get what you want. So
But you may get what you need.
It always ends up that way, though, Opie. You know, we always build up these great giant arguments, and then we're like, oh, well, I agree with you. Oh, no, you're entirely right.
Yeah, and this is actually one where like Corny's going to come in and be like, you're both wrong, blah blah blah, right? So anyway, we'll see. So
you want an argument? Jurassic Park is garbage.
Okay.
I will kill you. And go.
There you go. That would be a fun argument, even though it's actually rated as the #1 movie on our list. So yeah, that's fine.
I need to update that. Good Lord, I just haven't had time.
Nah, it's okay. We all have jobs.
Well, I mean, if you get to a wormhole, you might gain about 23 years.
Yeah, there you go. In a couple hours. So, so Interstellar. Andrew, please tell us, what is the Interstellar?
A team of explorers travel through a wormhole in space in an attempt to ensure humanity's survival.
Okay, first of all, Andrew, can you back off your microphone like an inch? Because you know what? You sound like
I am literally sitting across the room from my microphone.
You sound like you have it in your mouth.
It actually, you know what you sound like? You sound like the captain of an airline. Like when he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be."
Or you sound like the docking procedure during Interstellar when the organ is full tilt and they're blowing speakers in the theater.
No kidding. Oh man. So anyway, it's fine. It's fine. We still love you. Did you like?
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Some jackwagon messed with the gain on my microphone. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
and that being one of my children.
I was gonna say it's got to be one of your kids, right?
Jackwagon?
At least you didn't say something else. Cool. So had we all seen this movie before this viewing?
Yeah, actually.
Yep. Andrew?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Cool. Well, then we'll just get right into the meat of the show. Andrew, you're
right in the center of that meat?
Yeah, right in the black hole-ness of it. I was actually getting ready to ask Andrew if you did the intro.
What'd you call me?
I don't know. I was actually getting ready to ask if you did the read, because I was so focused on the fact that it was so loud I didn't even listen to the words you said. So
Stupid effing book.
Oh, I can't even play that. Damn it.
Don't worry. I'll be your soundboard tonight.
It would actually be great, Corny, if you actually were here with me. I can just poke you whenever I need a clip.
I swear to God, if you hurt my dog, I'll be really mad.
There it is. Somebody just filled in that spot on their bingo card. Anyway, so Andrew, if you will, sir, your kind of initial thoughts on the movie Interstellar.
I thought that this movie was an emotional, beautiful journey into the unknown, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was wonderful.
Are you being facetious? I can't tell. Are you?
Even
I keep
being serious.
I'm waiting for the drop.
Yeah, I know.
Even
Not the dubstep drop.
Even the paradox that they're in, and some of the arguments that I know are going to come up in a little while, I have no problem with it, because I just like the movie that much. I think it's great. I think the music is fan-frickin-tastic.
Oh, absolutely.
The movie itself, I mean, it just... Is it a little out there? Maybe. I don't know. We've never been in a black hole before. But...
that we know of.
Well, that we know of, yeah. I think the premise was great. I think the acting was good. Even Matt Damon. And...
Matt Damon.
There were, I guess, some unanswered questions as far as how did this happen or how does this work exactly, but I'm okay with that. I liked it. I thought it was done well.
Not appropriate. Thank you, Corny. Okay. Speaking of corny and your inappropriate jokes.
Inappropriate text, yeah. Okay.
It's not inappropriate. It's 100% factual.
Don't want to hear about it, though.
There's so many ways this could be factual.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. Let's just stop and move on to Interstellar.
All right, so I'm going to actually blame not having as much fun on you, Shawn.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Because the first time I watched this movie, I think I watched it shortly after it came out. Maybe thanks to the goodness that is Netflix. So I guess we waited about a year, maybe not even that much, where it became a thing on Netflix. Wait, was that right?
Or
Yeah.
Redbox.
I think it was on Netflix last 2 years ago.
Was it on Netflix? I know it's been on Amazon for a while.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I watched it on Netflix for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Because I didn't have Amazon Prime until, I guess last year or whatever the case may be. But yeah, and so I seem to recall Shawn not liking this movie very much so, and so I went into it with a sour disposition. But no, and it actually is a good movie. And so, sorry, it's better than I expected it to be, but I had other opinions going in. I will say that I'm not a fan of Christopher Nolan movies, and I don't know if that's because it's just Batman related, and so I have this natural hate or natural dislike of it. I hate Christian Bale, not because of Batman, but because of his character portrayal in the remake of Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson.
He's a pretty horrible character to hate.
He's a yeah, but anyway, anyway, the point is that
that's like hating the kid who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
That's fair.
Who was also in Batman.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah.
He's returned to a life of crime.
He's a little kid. He saw Batman and was like, I could do this dark thing and kill people and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got this cool little spy toy I can use.
It just occurred to me that I should have been calling you Joffrey for the last couple of years, Shawn.
That's not nice at all.
Oh no, not because of mannerisms, just names and whatnot.
No, I don't know.
Oh, your middle name. I should have just saying Joffrey instead of Jeffrey.
No, you didn't have to say that.
Oh, interesting.
So, just occurred to me.
Anyway. Okay. Anyway.
So the point is I like the movie. It was very trippy. I did not know. Okay, so here's the thing. It's 2017. When did this movie come out? And 14. We need the month. We need the month.
Was it?
Well,
it was Thanksgiving, I think. I saw it in
November 7th, 2014.
Okay, so it's not been 3 years yet, so we actually have to do the spoiler alert.
No.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Okay, fair.
We will be spoiling this movie.
Well, yeah.
Shawn will be especially. So if you have any ill will, send it towards Shawn.
That's fine.
Yep.
So, yeah, but the ending was a complete surprise. It was almost Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Shyamalama.
So I did appreciate that. That actually, I will say that I was getting pretty bored with the movie, and then that happened. I was like, oh, well, here we go. This is kind of cool. So yeah. So I actually can't wait to talk about this.
All right, cool. Sam, you're up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm the one that's been pushing this movie, and I've been trying to get us to watch it mainly to get Shawn riled up about it, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. So I might be a little disappointed, but I really, really like this movie. I saw it in an IMAX theater with the sound the way it should, and apparently when Nolan was negotiating sound, showing it in theaters, he wanted the sound to basically almost blow the speakers. So you're deafened at certain points with this organ music that is just incredible. Uh-huh. I think Nolan channeled his inner Kubrick as much as he could, especially in the third act of this movie. If you've ever seen 2001 Space Odyssey and you've got your space child, or I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, they call it the Star Child.
It gets pretty trippy towards the end, and we might talk about that here in a few. But it isn't a perfect movie. I got to tell you that. The first act of this movie is pretty darn bad. I did not buy the fact that McConaughey was a poor farmer that was barely surviving. They were way too clean, and everything was way too green and happy. For a government that was failing, they still had public schools. So I guess DeVos hasn't been invented yet.
Nice.
But
she might be the reason why they shut down. They're saying that the space program isn't real.
So, but it's a beautifully made film. I enjoy Nolan. I've always enjoyed his movies. I like his ideas that he brings to the screen, whether if it's Inception or The Prestige. There's some pretty cool stuff he's doing. He had a little bit of a hard time in this one explaining the science, especially when you get to Sean's favorite bookshelf scenes. I think he got a little fuzzy there where it could have been a little clearer on what was going on in terms of the gravity, time travel, space travel,
Gravity.
fifth dimensions, that kind of thing. But I enjoyed it from beginning to end. There was a point when I was in that IMAX theater where I just wanted to stand up and clap, not because of the movie, but the damn score is just, oh my God, that docking scene when the score is just going insane, and then, oh, just amazing. I love it. I love it. And I love movies that give me that type of experience where I'm thinking about it right now. I'm still getting goosebumps on my arms about that experience.
That's just a myth. Yeah, I was going to say.
My cocaine is my dealer.
Okay. That's a pretty good dealer to have.
Yeah.
1-800 my cocaine.
My cocaine. Oh, I know what the episode is going to be called.
But that's pretty much, we'll talk about some more details in it, I'm sure, once we start getting through Sean's notes. But I had a really good time again for probably about the fourth time I've seen this movie. I love to put it on in the background. Pandora loves this soundtrack, so you get it a lot listening to it.
Yeah, but
how about you, Sean? Let's hear your words of wisdom.
But they never play the good parts. That's what pisses me off about Pandora.
Yeah.
It's always like this soft lullaby of a moment. And I'm like, what is happening? And I crank up my speakers, and then it disappears, and then Pirates of the Caribbean comes on at like 90 dB, and I'm like, parts my hair. So
Shit your pants?
I mean, kinda, yeah. Especially when it's actually like the second or third one where there's a lot of organ.
Oh,
and, yeah, and so it's like, oh, crap. Anyway, but yeah.
Hey, sorry. You know what's better than roses on the piano?
What's that?
Tulips on the organ.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Okay, continue.
You didn't have to, but...
No, he had to.
I had to.
Yeah.
All right, so Interstellar. So I've now seen this movie twice. And only twice. The first time I watched it, it was at the behest of Sam. He said, you got to go watch it. If you can make it in the IMAX, you have to do it. And I was unable to get that experience. And they filmed the movie in actual IMAX film. Christopher Nolan is a real big fan of actual film. So they used IMAX film to get the kind of the largeness kind of feel of everything, which I think is super cool. Some directors are still do that. J.J. Abrams did that with the Star Wars and the Star Trek movies. He wants to shoot on film. Like as opposed to Cameron, what's his name?
James.
Yeah, James Cameron. About said Kirk Cameron. James Cameron, who shot like Avatar completely on digital, whatever, which is fine. It was still
Kirk Cameron shoots his on his iPhone.
Yeah.
While praying.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shots fired.
Sorry.
So the first time I watched it, I'm gonna be honest, I was bored, and it didn't hold my interest enough, and it wasn't like it was like, oh well, Sean, we're no. I was like, my kids were away, like I had the house to myself. I had it on my nice TV and the sound turned up, and I was bored, and then we get to. So we got to do this real quick. So, Sam, you've already mentioned the first act. So I think this movie has 4 acts. Okay, so you've got Earth, past act, right? So he's in the past before he leaves, and then we have spacefaring act, where we're investigating water world, and then we get to ice world, and then I think the third act starts when there's the little treachery with, spoiler alert, with the Matt Damon. And then
we spent way too much money trying to save that guy.
Well, they weren't trying to save him. Remember, they were going there to live. So
yeah, they thought it was a viable planet.
So,
the
meme is still funny that we spent billions of dollars trying to save this asshole between Saving Private Ryan, this, and The Martian. But what? Oh, but anyway, so that's the third act. Because it was a long time. It was a lot of minutes spent on him, and then the fourth act is the Tesseract and beyond.
Okay.
So
See, I looped all the space stuff before the Tesseract.
yeah, but because there's such a different feel, right? Like they get into
Yeah.
space, and so like everything is fine until Matt Damon pushes him off, and I think at that point everything changes because then we're back and forth between space and Earth with Jessica Chastain trying to burn crops and whatever. So like the energy and everything changes, right? The whole feel of the movie goes from spacefaring whatever to the last 15 minutes of Inception, where we have to do everything in this thing, and the van is slowly falling down into the water, and like all of these things are happening, and it builds tension on itself. So that's why I put that as third. So my point is, the first time I watched this, the first two acts didn't care. The third act, I was like, oh, Matt Damon's a bad guy. Interesting, little space madness happening. Okay. And then we get to the Tesseract, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? And that's
And
when
Loki showed up, and I was like, "Damn, Loki's here!"
The Tesseract is what I'm referring to. Is obviously the behind the bookshelf,
Yeah,
bit,
the
right?
fifth dimensional beings created. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gravity beings created a 3-dimensional space in their 5th dimension. Fine. And at that point, I was like what I did with Game of Thrones. I figuratively threw the
Checked
book
out.
down, and I was like, this is dumb. And then we get to the end, and I'm like,
Stupid effing book.
I mean, I really need that clip actually. And then I get to the very end, and then I get mad at the ending of the movie. Physically, viscerally mad at the movie, and I'm like hurling curses at Christopher Nolan, and then I think I went and watched Batman Begins to make myself happy. So, so with that being said, that was kind of my review of the first time I watched it. So now since then, I was like, you know what? We've been kind of hyping this argument between Sam and I for a little while, and so I'm gonna go into this with as an open mind as I can, right? So I put on my nice headphones, and I watched this on my nice laptop. Got comfy in my bed and spent 3 flipping hours. Okay, it's a long ass movie. Let's be honest, Sam. It's a long ass movie.
It's actually 23, but there's only 18 hours of static.
Nice contact
reference. Awesome.
Very nice. So I was in. So okay. So I'm back. I'm in. So now we're getting into. I'm actually going to kind of get it out of my intro here into like the meat of the show, right? I guess I haven't given you my overall impression, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make you wait for it. I'm going to make you earn it. The first scene, I'm with you. Whoever said it. The Earth bit is kind of dumb.
Yes. Okay. The Earth is dying, but it doesn't look like it.
I'm kind of confused as to why we need to show that the government sucks. I'm kind of confused.
Pretty much common knowledge now.
Well, yeah. But like, why do we need to show? And that actor, that African American actor, I've seen him in things, and I can't remember what from, but he was in a bunch of stuff that I've seen and I liked, and I can't think of who he is.
Same here.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, School Principal David Oyelowo. David Oyelowo. He was in Jack Reacher. He was in Selma.
Oh, yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr. Same year. Lee Daniels, the butler. So he's done some actually really, really good stuff. Oh, he's in Star Wars Rebels as Agent Kallus. That's really cool. Sorry. So anyway, I
Nerd.
yeah, of this podcast, I'm the nerd. All I gotta do was like say, hey, Corny, what was the name of issue number 21 of The Amazing Spider-Man?
Oh, you mean the one where he?
Yeah.
As I push up my glasses.
You're pushing up your glasses. I know you are. You know you don't wear glasses. At least you don't always wear glasses. But anyway, my point is this. Well, not my point, but I continue. I digress, as we do. So the Earth bit was kind of dumb, right? I mean, John Lithgow is like, you need to repopulate the species. He's got 2 kids. Weird granddad. Go away. So that was strange.
Not to mention, why do you populate an Earth that's dying?
And then I was
with no hope at that point.
Well, yeah, you're right. Like, because everyone kind of knows, and Matthew McConaughey's even saying, he's like, we're always talking about next year. So we're going to run out of years, right? And then are they
Yep.
drinking beer or are they drinking corn beer? Like, are they just drinking whiskey out of a brown bottle? Because there's,
I didn't even think of that because they would
That's
have to
corn
use
liquor.
corn.
yeah, that's all they got.
Ew.
Right? So I guess they're drinking,
Yeah.
I don't know, fermented corn. I mean, I don't know. I guess whatever. White lightning. Go, Chad.
Is that my new nickname?
White lightning.
Fermented corn.
Oh, fermented corn. Yeah, that's what you are when you've had about 4 too many.
Yes.
Ah, he's a fermented corn now. Fermented. I mean, not fermented. It's not a word. So I will say this: the one scene on Earth that kind of affected me was the goodbye bit, because that would be
with the daughter.
Yeah, that would be hard. It was too long.
Oh,
it was shot
my
too long,
gosh.
but it would be really hard. I mean, gosh, in my notes I wrote, shit, it's hard for me to drop my kids off at daycare, let alone
Yeah.
leave the planet. So
Never seeing him. He doesn't. His wife isn't there to take care of him.
yeah,
Yeah, it's then it grabs you, and I think the reason they had to have so much time on Earth was because they wanted to give you that emotional connection between a father and daughter.
yeah,
Not between the father and son, because apparently that doesn't matter.
yeah.
But between the father and daughter, there had to be that emotional connection.
Well, and then because Casey Affleck is going to turn into an asshole later on, so
Mhm.
who cares about him as a young age? Though, anyway, so then we get to space, right? So they. Oh, and
Yep.
by the way, okay, Sam. So you said this isn't a perfect movie, all right? So they were going to space anyway, right? They were going to go, and all of a sudden this pilot just stumbles into their lap, and they're like, "You were the best pilot we ever had." Then why didn't you call him years ago? Like,
I'm pilot.
I mean, right? Like, why?
Didn't he crash something?
Yeah, he
I've seen it 4 times. I still don't.
Yeah,
quite
he
understand.
crashed a test thingy, whatever. They show it like that's the very first thing we see is him crashing is because of gravity thingies, whatever. But like, he crashes, but he didn't die, and
Yeah.
obviously, so the NASA just says, "All right, deuces," and we're never gonna talk to you again.
Well, let's think of it this way. You are an amazing. I don't
Aw,
know.
thanks, Sam.
You're an amazing
It's the nicest compliment
supervisor
you
at work, right?
Well, yeah.
But maybe one day you accidentally set the union on fire. All right, would they probably fire you?
Okay, this is a different scenario.
Well,
I am not I'm not test piloting a union. I mean, like, he was a test pilot.
We're
And
not
his-
talking about me.
and his ship crashed because of some mechanical error. Like, you
Well,
don't-
maybe it was. Maybe
you
it
don't-
wasn't. I
People
don't know.
don't fire you from NASA for that. Even if they did fire him, and he
Yeah.
was still referred to as the best pilot they'd ever had, I can't imagine that no one would have thought to call him. Anyway, so that's plot point.
How about this? Maybe he wasn't the best pilot and he was the only pilot.
Michael Caine literally
Michael Caine.
said, "You were the best pilot we ever had." And even Matthew McConaughey pulled a CheapSeat Reviews and said, "But you were going to go without me anyway." And they said, "Well, yes, but now we have you, so you need to go." Anyway, it's a weird little thing. It's fine. It's fine.
I'd fly.
Right. I mean, he basically
Well,
said
he made the comment that they thought he was dead. They didn't even know he was alive.
Why would you think that? I just don't understand this. In future world, like, do they still
Well,
not
I
have?
mean, a lot of people probably died.
I understand a lot of people died, but I mean, like,
Trump's America. I mean,
anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed dumb. That's fine. So then we go.
It's a trope. We got to say that's a trope.
It
though.
is a trope. It is a trope.
You know, if you're gonna have a movie like this, if it's Top Gun or wherever you're having somebody fly or do anything, you're the best pilot there's ever been. But
Right.
too bad you're drunk or,
Yeah.
you
have some kind of baggage.
You've got one eye and lost depth perception. Sorry, but you're the best pilot.
Yeah. My first note
Kind of
actually.
channeling your inner Chad there, man.
Actually, that wouldn't be bad. Yeah, actually, no,
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. May he rest in peace. My first
So.
note of the movie, though, was interesting. Last time we saw Matt, he was a preacher, and now he's the male version of Jodie Foster.
There you go. That's right. In both movies, they
do a little
went through some sort of black hole.
yeah, little black hole sun. Won't you come? Wash away the rain.
Oh God, now it's back in my head.
My second note, legit. No more okra. Corny. I don't like this place. That's what I wrote. I love me
No
some
okra.
fried okra. I'm just saying.
I didn't buy it. It was I don't know. They just didn't do it they didn't do it well.
I'll agree with that. I don't know. You're right. Matthew McConaughey's just too pretty for this at
Well,
this moment.
everybody, especially you go into this beautiful looking school. You've got a perfect little baseball field.
I mean, there's dust on everything, but the thing that I did notice, and I do agree with you on this part, is the cornfield, and the grass. There were the baseball field grass. I was like, well, damn, that's like nicer than some of the golf courses around my neighborhood. The Dust Bowl. I mean, you see pictures from that. There was everything looked dirty, everything looked dingy, and the colors were muted because of all the dust.
And maybe that's what I was expecting, when they're starting to talk about, dust storms and they have the interesting documentary intros and things like that. But we lost somebody. But it didn't look like it was downtrodden enough to be worried about the future of our species.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of with you there. That part didn't bother me as much, but it is kind of like the Snowpiercer effect when you cast Chris Evans, who's in between Captain America movies, to be this person who has lived his entire life on protein bars, and he's the biggest, strongest person on the train. It's right. I mean, like Matthew McConaughey has grown up living only, well, not only but recently only on corn. I mean, anyway, it's fine.
Taking your shirt off won't go so far.
I'm actually glad he didn't take his shirt off in this movie, honestly.
Or did I?
No, you didn't. All right, so we leave Earth, right? Earth is left behind, and
okay, this is the Earth.
Jessica Chastain, well, not yet, but she eventually is going to have to figure some stuff out, and Michael Caine's there at the school, and and whatever, right? So then they go to the Saturn, right? And then they go into the black hole. Okay, so they go into the black hole. So of course, did he really need permission to stop? Oh yeah, the kid, that was dumb. I also joked CRT TV on an AV cart. I doubt they still have that in the future. That was real dumb, actually. That kind of annoyed me in the school. I'm going back a little bit. First part of the movie is to piss us off. The government doesn't want people to look at stars. This place really sucks, is what I wrote. Yankees, a shitty traveling team. Finally, something I can get behind in this world.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you like the Yankees, I don't care. I hate the Yankees. It's fine. But I don't like baseball, but I hate the Yankees. So it's weird. I know.
Rooting for the Yankees is like betting on the Empire to win.
I know. It's actually like rooting for the Patriots. They just cheat and
That's
buy
true.
their way to the championship. Anyway,
Sam, you rooted for the Patriots, didn't you?
Do what?
Said you rooted for the Patriots, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, good
No,
for
I
you.
didn't. I rooted for I can't even say it.
The Falcons.
Somebody said the other day,
Falcons.
literally said the Falcons. And I'm like, did they just stop? Were they just watching Star Wars?
Nice.
They said it. Yeah, they lost. The Falcons lost. I'm like, I think they're called the Falcons.
Isn't that from like Star Fox?
I don't know. Falco. Solve the problem
On
of gravity
your third.
question. The long scene goodbye is hard. Can you really calculate humor percentage? So we're into space. The robots. All right. So TARS and Case. Right.
Yes.
Voice
As I like to
acting.
call them R2D2 and C2. I'm just kidding.
More or less. So the robot themselves, they looked. So basically, they're supposed to be like an homage to 2001. There's lots of homages to other things. 2001: A Space Odyssey, a little Star Trek, a little Star Wars, and lots of other kind of various spacefaring adventures. And the robots are supposed to look like the monoliths from 2001: A Space Odyssey, but like they look so uncomfortable and cumbersome and unable to.
Not useful.
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess he had a little arm that he could protrude to drive a joystick, but I don't know, it seemed strange to me.
I don't know. Well, when who was it? Was it TARDIS? Not TARDIS.
TARDIS? Yeah, it's
So-
the phone booth. Or the
Yeah,
police
but
boots,
when
I
he
mean.
picks her up on the water world
Yeah.
and runs back to the ship, I was like, oh my God, that thing actually does work.
Yeah, it still seemed weird when he was like rolling through the water though. The first time, like his version of running through the water, like it's like how does that work? Because I guess he's got like ways anyway, it's fine. Whatever, it's fine. They're robots. They were funny. The voice acting on them was great.
Yes.
I still give the nod to Alan Tudyk for Rogue One.
Yep.
As the best robot I've ever seen.
They were the human relief, the humor.
Oh yeah, they were
in this movie. There was very, very few, but they were definitely the comedic relief.
Absolutely. I mean, and if it wasn't for them, this movie would be super dry, and frankly, a little kind of depressing. And you needed those moments of breakup. You know.
Of course, as depressing as a end of all human life and death to our species can be.
Sure. Yeah. As much humor as you can inflict into that idea too. He hasn't flown in years yet. He knows how to fly. Like he's been in training forever.
Pilot.
Here's the other thing. So plot hole number 2 or 3 or whatever we're on now. Okay. Now I know the movie was already 3 hours long, right? So we didn't need to add anything. But in fairness, and again, for whatever reason, this crew was all like kumbaya, we're all besties, right? Until Matthew McConaughey called out Anne Hathaway for her shit. But in every other movie we've ever seen, they bring in this hotshot guy who none of them have trained with, none of them know. They all hate him. Right? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, like everyone. Yeah. Whereas this, they're like, hey, you're the pilot? Cool, let's go. Hey, we'll pack a lunch. It'll be great. Like there was never any tension there.
Did there need to be?
It didn't feel real to me because there would always be resentment. He hasn't trained with us for the last 10 years. He just showed up and he just happens to know Michael Caine, and they need a pilot. So I guess he's gonna be it. He's gonna kill us probably. Like every other movie I've seen, they all resent the pilot or not the pilot. I'm thinking of Lost in Space. They resent him, Matthew LeBlanc, because he's this hotshot pilot, or they don't trust Maverick. They don't trust insert movie. So anyway, am I by myself on that one or?
Yeah, a little bit. I think the trope of typical movies like that may be clouding judgment, because I think they probably knew his record if he was a former pilot.
But they all thought he was dead. You just said that. They all thought he was dead. So like they wouldn't know him. I mean, and it felt so quick, right? Like he shows up at the place unexpectedly, and then like an hour and a half later, he's flying into space with them. It seems super quick. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. They didn't have conflict. There should have been, but again, this movie was long enough as it was. Okay, so now we finally go into space.
Kaboom.
And then we have another little moment of we need to have a really smart scientist explain a wormhole to another really smart scientist, but we have to explain it to the audience. So we're going to
know this, yeah.
We're going to explain the pencil through the paper trick that we saw in Event Horizon. Okay, fine. It would have been great if he would have just said, "You seen Event Horizon?" Just that bit. But
and Stranger Things also.
Oh, they do that in Stranger Things?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. I need to watch that.
Dude.
Oh yes, you do.
Absolutely. I'm angry at you now because you haven't seen it yet.
Well, get over it.
It's that good.
I'm gonna
Fight the
watch
power,
it.
Shawn. Fight the power.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I want to watch it. I've heard nothing but great things about it, and
don't do it. Fight the man.
No, I don't want to fight the man. I mean, if you're saying fight Sam, fine, but I don't want to fight whoever the man is. Dude talks about a couple of years on a spaceship like it's no big deal. It seemed like a long time.
Hey, do you know an anagram for Shawn Allred is land whalers?
Land whalers. I like that. That's better than space hands.
Space hands. Oh, no, it's cave hands.
Oh, cave hands.
No, cave hands.
Cave hands.
Boy, that's a throwback.
Is that
Good
what you're doing
Lord.
now? Is like you're not even interested in your own movie, so you're looking at the
No,
anagram?
I was looking at anagrams of Interstellar a long time ago, and then all of a sudden I was like, hey, Shawn's talking. Let me see what his
That's funny. Land whalers.
Sure.
I like that. It sounds like a car.
Kind of does.
Introducing the new Dodge.
1978 Land Whaler.
Yeah, the Dodge 1972 Land Whaler. You can fit
only
11
gets 2
people
miles
in.
to the gallon.
Yeah. The side is made of wood, and it holds a 92-gallon gas tank. Enjoy, America.
Nice. Sorry.
Oh,
how about no? Here's another one. Darn all hells.
Really?
Yes. Darn all hells.
Darn all hells. I'm sure I've said that on this podcast.
What the damn hell?
Darn all hells. That's great.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was reading.
That thought.
No, I'm reading my notes, so I don't want to get to that thing yet. We're gonna get to that later. That really, it's big issue number 1 with the movie. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. I thought it was weird that they landed on a planet with they just went down there, right? So the water world, time travels is like super slow to them as opposed to the rest of the world, right, or the rest of the universe. And I'll admit this, right? The movie did a really great job of using real science to describe things and whatever. Like what actually happened on the planet would actually happen. As you get closer to gravity, time slows down. How do I know this? Well, I may have listened to some of the Star Talk episode with Neil deGrasse Tyson about this particular movie. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So he dropped some knowledge, and if I would have not my
he's the shaft of science, I believe.
That's pretty good. He's the shaft of physicists, not just because they're both black, but because he's like savvy and smart and cool, right? And
absolutely, no, seriously, like if he could slap people, he'd be like, "This is science."
He
bitch.
Probably wants to. he probably wants to go to like Washington and slap all those people up there.
Oh God, yeah, you know it.
Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Anyway, so
can we talk about the Waterworld for a second?
Okay, yeah,
still
please.
Talking about the Waterworld.
No, yeah, Waterworld, yeah, no.
I do have a problem with Waterworld.
Oh, okay. I have several as also.
With the simple
Kevin
thing.
Costner was awful.
Yeah, I peed in a thing and then drank it.
They flew through the hole.
Yeah.
And were looking at this water world. At some point, they were hovering around above this water world.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't there be some sort of equipment, radar, some sort of technology that would have told them, there's a gigantic wave that comes roughly every 30 minutes and destroys everything in its path?
I am so glad to hear you say that, Sam, because that pissed me off too. So here's one. I don't remember where I wrote it here somewhere. How did they? One of the notes is, how did they know the water was only a few feet deep? Okay, so I wrote. This is my note. This was later on the cold planet, right, ice planet, and I wrote, I know I've watched too much Star Trek, but even science now can look at the Earth and get readings on weather and like all these other things that we can do from our space station that orbits the planet now, right? And
dude, we can look through the darn Hubble telescope at a planet that's just a fuzzy dot and determine whether or not it might have water or not.
Right? Yeah, like what the satellite we just sent past Jupiter is taking pictures of it, and we're like, oh, look, like the one that went past Pluto not too long ago. And they're like, look at all these crater impacts. And look, that could have been an ice flow at some point. Like,
yeah.
So we're, what, not 100 years, but at least maybe 100 years. I don't know what year this is. But we're far enough into the future that space, from going from the planet to space, is as easy as getting in the ship and then just flying away.
Yeah.
You know, like they do in Star Trek or Star Wars, whatever. That you can't, hey, maybe we should just hang out on the surface I know if we get closer to the planet, time, whatever, right? But can we take 5 minutes to look where we're going? I'm with you.
It's like Christopher Columbus going blindfolded, trying to find America.
I mean,
yeah, thank God he used his GPS.
Yeah, no kidding. He used his sextant.
But another thing that bothers me too is, we've all seen pictures of tsunamis and what happens before a tsunami.
Mm-hmm.
All the water is drawn up into the wave.
Yeah.
It's not just empty underneath the wave. It has to have that water from somewhere. And if it's being pulled up in such a massive way, you're not going to be standing on any water. or you're going to feel a current.
Oh, I see. Like the undertow would have pulled them long before.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Like, I wondered what they were standing on. Like, I mean, I know what they were standing on. They were standing on pavement. It was just a pool. But, like, what were they standing on? Was it rock? Like, I don't know. So
that part, it just upsets me just a little bit, mainly because this is supposed to be a smart science movie.
Well, the other part was annoying, and Anne Hathaway, like, the characters admit, like, they screwed up. And it's like, okay, you guys were sent into space to save humanity, and not one of you thought. They all knew going down there that time would be slower. So no one thought, if time is slower down there than it is up here, is it a possibility that what we're receiving from them happened, whatever? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because when they get down there, it only happened whatever. So there's that. So there's that.
Now, don't forget the guys up in the circulating clock thing, right? And as they get closer to the planet, his time goes faster than their time, or their time slows down. So wouldn't he have time to be like, alert, I am showing readings of giant tsunamis on that planet. Come back.
Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe he didn't. Whoever or she or whoever died on the planet, maybe they like land, and then like as soon as they landed, the wave hit them because they were facing the wrong way, like they were, right, and got hit. But anyway, whatever. It annoyed me in the moment this time. It didn't actually annoy me the first time, but it annoyed me this time. Like, really, guys? You couldn't have seen an 800-foot wall of water from the sky? Like, we can see the Great Wall of China from the space station. And that thing isn't that big. I mean, it's big. It's long, but it's not like, anyway, you know what I'm saying. Speaking of Matt Damon, he's in that too.
Oh, my.
But, so here's something else to think about just to make you a little more depressed, okay? Let's just assume for a second that Wes Bentley, this will be our second Wes Bentley movie, or third. Did we watch The Hunger Games for this podcast? Yeah, we did, right?
Yep.
So this will be our third Wes Bentley movie, right? We
watched The Hunger Games?
Yeah, I think we did.
Huh.
Remember, because we got a listener request that we want you to do a girl movie. So we did The Hunger Games, and they're like, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think Jen got mad at us for that. But anyway, so Wes Bentley, right, he gets swept away. Now, we assume that he dies. But who's to say when they show his body, he's not just unconscious. Maybe he just hit his head on the inside of the helmet, and then he's just passed out. So now he's stuck on Waterworld forever.
Or until the next wave.
Until the next wave.
Well, I mean, but like well, now none of us have obviously tried to
talk about surfing.
Yeah, surfing a tsunami, but like, I mean, gosh, friggin' Captain Kirk did it in a little boat, went through it, so I'm sure he'd be fine. So there's something else to think about. But also, in fairness, right, because of time, they could have said, hey, 50 years from now, we should go back and see if he's still alive. I mean, it would only be, what, half an hour to him? An hour, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 hours?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, like, maybe we can, in 50 years, let's build a ship that can withstand water. We'll build a water space ship. Hell, the friggin' Enterprise went underwater in that movie for some reason.
Or a pontoon boat that has a big sail, and then you could pee into something and drink it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Kevin Costner's going to roll by and looking for, have you seen paper? It's paper, looking for paper. Anyway, we should totally do that movie for this podcast.
No.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love to do that movie so much. You'd be surprised how good the first half of that movie is, and then how
I would be surprised.
and then how bad the second
true.
half. No, the first half is good. It's fine. Anyway, I'm not.
What if Interstellar is a prequel to Waterworld?
Okay, I'm with you. All right, so then we get to that. All right, so they leave and they're all upset, and the old man, I forgot his name.
McGillicuddy.
Yeah, Romley. He's like, I've only been up here by myself for 23 years.
Jerks.
No kidding. Well, didn't he have cars with him? Or a case, because Tars was with them.
Yeah, he had one of them.
So he had case, or at least he had somebody to talk to. So So good for him. So then we go to Ice Planet, right? So we go to Hoth. And
Thank you.
once again, they fly into the planet, then in which the air is so cold that the clouds are made of ice. Not sure how that works. That wouldn't be a thing, but okay, fine, whatever. And they land there, and they think this could be home. So they wake up Matt Damon. I was waiting for Corny to do it. Sorry. And
Matt Damon.
there it is. It felt awkward.
It was forced. I was also yawning.
No, that's all right. So they wake him up, right, and then all hell starts to break loose, right? So at this point in the timeline, the kids. Oh, by the way, I missed a part. So Matthew McConaughey goes back. Right, they go back. It's 23 years later, and he's basically watching a one-way Skype call of his kids, watching his kids grow up. And I know people use that scene to kind of make fun of him, like crying and laughing and whatever. That scene was hard to watch this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As all of us,
as a father,
all of us are parents. Yeah, all of us are dads. Like watching your kid go from his son was in high school, and all of a sudden now he's married, and then he's a dad, and then his son, his grandkid dies, and then he has another kid.
Yeah.
And you're just getting these in these little videos, and then your daughter comes on basically, and she's like, "Big F you, Dad." So that was hard, and it was emotional. So I thought McConaughey actually did a really good job in that moment, because it's kind of.
I figured you were going to make fun of him on that one.
No, that was really good, and it's hard to cry, and like it not look super fake. And he did a really good job in that. So I mean, seriously, McConaughey acted really well in this movie. My issues with the movie are more plot related and less of acting was really great. I mean, I thought genuinely really good in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite roles were definitely the robots and their voice acting, but I thought McConaughey did really, really good in this movie, and probably helped propel him to Dallas Buyers Club. I mean, propel was not the. I didn't mean for that pun to happen. And then I wrote Topher Grace. I guess he's our Marvel connection. And then I wrote the love speech. She's talking about love. Love is the one blah 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 blah. And I wrote the love speech. Malcolm Reynolds did it better in Serenity. Whenever we do Serenity, I'll cap it for you. It's a great little speech. Much smaller.
You mean again?
Again,
I was about to say we've already done it.
Technically, we have, but no one's heard it. Makes me sad.
Oh, you know where it is? You know where the episode is? In the Tesseract.
Oh yeah, we need our fifth dimension future humans to let us have access to the back of the bookcase where we can talk to you.
Right.
And
I like this.
figure out how to get it back.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So,
hold on, wait a second. I gotta interpret this Morse code. Hold on, might take me a little while.
Oh, okay. Good luck. So, is Michael Caine a bad guy in this movie?
Michael
then,
Caine.
like,
kind of. He did not know that this time travel was going to happen. So, I mean, obviously, you can't expect that. So, he basically, well, I don't know. In a lot of ways, he's like Mr. Glass from Unbreakable. He had to do some pretty bad things to get good out of it. That's a bad example.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to think of an example, right? Because he sells the team. Everyone except basically Matt Damon is sold on the idea that they're actually out there. They're the Lost in Space crew, right? They're there to find home, a home, and turns out that was never the intention. The intention was always for Plan B to be the thing. And I mean that kind of sucks. And I mean, Matt Damon kind of says, well, he made a great sacrifice. No, the people of Earth are making the sacrifice. Just saying.
Yeah.
However many are left, we don't know.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
The option A,
Uh-huh.
You know, option B was they'd figure out how to get this giant spaceship off of Earth.
No, that's
right?
option A. That's plan A.
Oh, that's option A. Okay.
Yeah.
Plan B was a bunch of test tube babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was she going to have to give birth to these test tube babies?
Prom night dumpster baby.
I don't.
You know?
I don't think so. Because they said that they already had the eggs and stuff. But I mean,
someone's got to be unless they've come up with. I don't think they had the technology. I think she had to be the one.
Wow. So she has.
She was
to
the Eve.
Yeesh.
Damn.
I mean, right?
That's
Right?
nasty.
But I mean, like, it's not like she can just do one. You're gonna have. You need to do like 10.
Yeah.
In order to be. Man, that sucks. I had never thought of that.
I don't think she was meant to be the surrogate. I think there was something.
You think
I hope
I
so.
inferred that there were other devices.
I did
help that
too.
along.
I kind of thought that it was going to be some kind of. They have found some way to not only artificially inseminate, but to artificially birth.
Yeah.
You know, grow, gestate, birth.
They didn't answer that question.
No, they didn't.
Which is really kind of scary because
Yeah.
she's because I'm thinking to myself, she's gonna have to, if in her mind she's by herself now. She's what's remaining of humankind.
Right.
She is going to have to inseminate herself and birth humans.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that did cross my mind. And not only, after she has the first kid, you got to wait a while, and then.
I mean,
have another,
like her whole
more kids.
existence is just gonna be an oven. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Jeez.
Sorry, when you've seen the movie this many, 4 or 5 times, you start seeing these types of things.
1-800 my cocaine. It's great. Hell of a phone number.
Even before I knew what was happening, the Matt Damon section is powerful and intense. Then I wrote, but I guess they had to give Matt Damon lots of lines to compensate for his lack of airtime. I mean, if he was on camera, he was just talking. I mean, just constantly talking.
Wouldn't you?
People
no one to talk to for.
No, I get it. I mean, yeah, you're right. He hasn't because his robot. Well, in fairness, though, he hasn't been by himself that long. His robot
That's
still
true. He
kind
went
of
to
worked,
sleep.
and then he went to sleep. So I mean, it's not like he's been by himself for all of that long. So anyway, but his space madness kicked in pretty harsh. I mean, he turned his robot into a bomb, and I felt bad for the old what's his name again, Romley.
Oh, you know what's even worse? And going back to my idea, Anne Hathaway is Michael Caine's daughter in this film.
Yeah.
So he just sent his daughter into space to become Eve.
Well, yeah. So.
You.
Yeah, well, yeah. So.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Well, I think that in his mind, he was seeing it as, I'm sending her to survive. Because she's going to be there, plan A or plan B. She'll be
all right.
Safe.
Yeah. Still like the robot from Rogue One. That was my last. All right. I know he did this. Oh yeah, I wrote my last. That's Sam being weird with his microphone. I know he did this in Inception, but shit, after 3 hours, you couldn't have a better ending. So he sneaks off, and we get to the part where he goes into the Tesseract, and then he does the thing that we're going to talk about in a minute, and then he wakes up, and he's outside of Saturn, and they come and rescue him miraculously with seconds to go in your air supply, and then now he's on Elysium, right? And they put him back in his house, and they find TARS, and they rebuilds him, because you can't keep a good robot down, and
nice.
I wish I had that handy, but I don't.
Can I get my root? Oh, damn it.
Oh, maybe I do have that. Do I have that?
You have it on your ringtone. That's for sure.
I do have it on my ringtone. But anyway, so he steals a ship, and he steals what looks like a Viper from Battlestar Galactica, and and then that's it, right? So then it shows her on the planet with her dead boyfriend. And so it's like, yay, he's dead. So and then credits. And it's like, wait a minute. First of all,
The top is still spinning.
you've barely given us any kind of sexual tension between the two of them. Because for the first bit of the movie, she doesn't really know him. And then he pisses her off by basically calling her out saying, we need to go to this planet with Matt Damon because your boyfriend's on that planet and we won't have enough fuel to make it to both planets. So we got to pick. And ice planet Hoth is closer. And you're all a emotional woman. So we're not going to do that, right? So now she hates him. But then he makes the sacrifice play, so then she loves him. It's like, it's kind of a weird relationship. So I get that he's going to go to her because he has to, because they're the most two attractive people left in humanity. But like, I was also kind of grumpy. Like, he finally gets to see his daughter, who is 109, and he sees her they talk to each other for 5 minutes, and then she's like,
Yeah.
"All right, I'm good. Bye, Dad. I knew I'd see you again. Deuces. Leave. Go get her. Go get the person who I have no bearing on whatsoever whether or not you actually have a relationship with this person, but I'm going to assume that you do because the script told me to." Because she doesn't know.
I wondered about that too, and I think that, I would like to think, again, inferring that she has gone so long without seeing him that he's really no longer a part of her life. When we go a year or two without seeing, I have an uncle that I haven't seen since I was like 7. And if he passed away, I probably wouldn't know the difference, as far as emotionally. Mm-hmm. And so if she's been away from her father for, the better part of her life, 70 years or 80 years, whatever it is, it's not really, I don't know. It's not really going to be an emotional impact for her. Maybe for him, but at the same time, he sees this giant family around her that he has no clue who these people are, even though they're relatives, distant relatives, grandkids in some cases. He doesn't know them either. But I don't know. That's kind of how I looked at that.
I see what you're saying. I do. And I know it would be unreasonable for, McConaughey for them to like resume the relationship that they had, because the last time he spoke to her, she was 10. So she has a whole life of experiences that she is not long for this world. So it's not like she can tell him all about whatever. So they share a moment and they leave. But again, she doesn't know anything about him and Anne Hathaway. Anyway, whatever, it's fine. So you ready to get into the meat of this? Like the actual black hole sun of this thing?
Black hole sun.
All right.
Won't you come?
So my 2 big issues with the movie, and they are gargantuan issues with this movie. And these are the reasons why I don't think this is a great movie. One,
Sam likes it.
One, Sam likes it. No, that's not true. One, and in fairness, and I wish I had the clip handy, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye agree with me. So I'm just going to say that because they are on their Star Talk show. One, the premise of the movie is this. It is easier to go through a black hole near Saturn, which the only reason why it was near Saturn was for 2 reasons. One, an homage to 2001: A Space Odyssey, and 2, Saturn is the Roman god of crops. Whatever.
Also, it's prettier to film.
Yeah, and you got the rings and whatever. J.J. Abrams did the same thing in Star Trek. Fine. You're telling me that it's easier to go through a wormhole, which we've never done, and they have no clue on whether or not the people on their side are actually alive or what they're getting back. I guess they're getting back data, but whatever. You're telling me that's better to go through a black hole, go to the other side of the black hole to a new galaxy in which the center of your solar system is a supermassive black hole. That's safer than trying to colonize Mars or another planet in your own solar system. Like, we have not evidence, but we have theories that there are moons around Saturn, like Titan, that could sustain life because it's
Titan around Jupiter?
I thought it was around Saturn. Maybe it is around Jupiter. I don't know. but point being is that there are planets and like there are moons around Saturn and Jupiter.
No, it is Saturn. Yep.
Okay, I remember my astronomy.
Very good.
I took astronomy 1 and 2. So of course that was back when Pluto was a planet. But anyway, so your whole premise of the movie is now lost to me, because
Which could be fixed by a simple line in the script somewhere that says, "We lost Mars, and we lost our habitable planets due to some sort of error."
Okay, yeah,
or Mars is not terraforming quick enough or
yeah,
something.
There's got to be. I mean, give me some reason why the solar system, which is our solar system, is no longer an option. That's the best option. And don't tell me it's because gravity beings created this thing and planted it here 50 years ago. Right? Like that. I don't buy that. Okay?
Well, but you have to because it's there.
But you have to because it's there. But I think it's I mean, I'm going to ask you guys. Am I alone in this my argument that this actually, in my opinion, cheapens the movie, because you're not giving me a reason why we have to do this super dangerous. I mean, seriously, you're gonna live in the same solar system as a supermassive black hole. You don't know what the hell that thing's gonna do. I mean, seriously, that's the solution. We're gonna take Elysium, go through the wormhole, and then go and populate the planet that she's on. That's the solution.
I'm okay with that.
It just seems. Whoa. Sorry.
Yeah.
This gust of wind like hit the door beside me, and I literally thought Sam was outside just now. So
Sorry.
God,
I tripped.
That was actually kind of scary. I can't get my brain around that. Well, Shawn, you like Star Trek. I know I like Star Trek, okay? And Star Trek is in the same rules of our galaxy, gravity, and I know they do warp speed, which isn't a thing. I get it, fine. But for the most part, there's usually reasons to do things. And that's my argument against that, is that the reason here I can't grasp, because it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that's the solution, is to go to another.
Well, then
another
you have to
galaxy.
assume that there is a reason why.
But don't we give movies grief for that? I mean, don't we do that? Don't we have movies where we're like, you need to tell us reasons? Now, we don't want. Obviously, we get mad at movies when they try to like beat us over the face with,
Expose.
Yeah, and like too much. We got to simplify things because you're dumb Americans. Don't look at the painting being crushed by the briefcase bits. Like we get mad at movies like that. I'm not saying that. I felt like the whole concept of the movie was dumb in that aspect. But okay, we'll put that issue aside. All right. I can get over it.
Because you could reasonably assume that they've tried that.
Maybe, yeah.
Because you are very correct that they would not be flying through some sort of black hole to
if there was another option in our solar system.
Yeah, if there was another option.
Maybe they sent Matt Damon to Mars and he got left there and he's like, guys, this place sucks. I could grow potatoes with my shit, but otherwise there's nothing here. So fine.
And then he had to science the shit out of it.
I'm going to say this right now, though. The Martian is a better film than Interstellar, and I'm just going to say it. The Martian's a better film. Because in that movie, they talk science in a way that made sense. You had to know physics to get this movie. Like, there were a couple of moments they're talking back and forth, and I'm like, okay, I know I took astronomy 1 and 2, but I didn't take physics, and I'm having to Google things that they're saying. So, anyway, so I think The Martian's a better film, and a better premise, and it also has Matt Damon and Jessica Chastain in it. Right, she's in that, right? Or maybe not.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Anyway, so there's that. My other big beef, obviously, and I mean obviously, is the Tesseract bit. Because it gets into the paradox. And Andrew, you mentioned earlier the paradox didn't bother you. That you actually liked it.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all.
I cringe whenever you get to these time paradoxes. It's my argument is simply this. Doc Brown in 1985 cannot go back into 1955 and hand him the plans for the flux capacitor to build the time machine. You can't do that. That's not how time works. Now, we, of course, don't know that. I'm only basing this off of what makes sense to my linear brain. The way my brain works is I think of things linearly. I edit audio that way. I think that way linearly. So the idea of time being a flat circle is foreign to me. So the fact that everything that led up to this moment had to have already happened in the future to lead to this moment, I cannot get behind.
And I think that's why I don't, I knew this was going to be your one of your biggest issues with the movie, and I kind of wanted it to be an issue with me because I saw it and I thought, well, okay, my little pea brain doesn't really comprehend this, but at the same time, like I said, we don't know. We don't know about the black hole.
It's all theoretic.
We haven't been there, so I'm not angry about it. I don't get upset about that none of this has happened yet. So how can it have happened? I just think to myself, well, this is theoretic. Yeah, like you said, Sam, and we don't know. We don't know that it can't happen that way.
Yeah, and here's the thing: the math works. Einstein's in his general relativity, through the math and through math that you can actually prove, it allows for what's called closed time-like curves, which is basically is the circular motion of time. So when you do a closed loop of time, it ends up, you could have a situation where you enter this time-like curve tomorrow and end up today. So it's so heady. Well, I had to look this stuff up today because I knew you were going here, Shawn. It is so beyond heady in terms of time travel and physics and theoretics and the idea of this circular time that theoretically this could work. Now, can you go into a black hole? We don't even know if black holes really exist.
Well, yeah, we do.
It's just that, well, math and theoretical science say they could, but we've never touched one. We've never gone to one.
Well, yeah,
we've
sent the closest one is like 4 light years away or something. So we're nowhere near one. Is your point, and I get that. But
so in this movie,
we've seen them. We've taken pictures of them.
What they've figured out, the only time one of these ring-like singularities could exist is at a black hole, and I wrote it down here. It's called a Kerr black hole, and that is when, let me see what else. Where is it? Near the singularity of a black hole spinning at near light speed. So what they're saying is this black hole he entered was spinning at light speed, which somehow caused this time warp.
Or it would be near light speed, right? Because Einstein says you can't go fast.
Yeah, black hole spinning at near light speed.
Okay, sorry. Just my little knowledge of physics kicked in there. I apologize.
But here's the thing: these fifth dimensional beings, which is us in the future.
Yeah. Okay. That's issue number 3.
Had to have figured this out and made Cooper go back. We're getting into the Terminator here. Where they had to send somebody back to in time, and because time is a loop, there's no real today, there's no real tomorrow, there's no real yesterday. It's all one circle, and then you're getting beyond my brain. But
my issue then with that is this. That was a lot of little words there. And ignoring the circle idea. The idea that the dimensional gravity beings are just in fact Coop. It's just Cooper, right? He high fives Anne Hathaway as they're traveling through the black hole as he's going back through it, right?
Yeah.
In the past, though, but then becomes the future. Anyway, whatever, it's fine. But so he is the one who supposedly has constructed the Tesseract.
No, I never got that. He's the one that gave humans the information to travel like they did and to survive so that later on in the future they could then send him to do the same thing.
Well, yeah, but somebody creates the Tesseract.
Yeah, the
Somebody
fifth
has to
dimensional
create it.
beings, or are the humans?
Yeah,
It's just
humans.
the future human race.
Future
yeah.
human race.
So we're saying that so far away into the future. So now we're getting back into the thing again that pisses me off. So far into the future where they eventually have the technology. So we've populated
Yep.
whatever planet that Anne Hathaway is now on, and we've developed the technology now. After Cooper went through the black hole to understand the quantum mechanics of gravity, we've solved that problem that we can now create a tesseract inside a black hole for him to go into so that he could kickstart everything.
No, what I got from that was that we gave through the Tesseract, Cooper gave young Cooper, what was her name?
Merv. They said her name
Merv.
5,000 times.
I know.
Merv.
Gave her the information to solve gravity
Got it?
so they could get the big giant ship.
I'm with you there. By the
It
way,
had-
just hang in there, just real quick. There is a thunderstorm rolling in right now.
Oh,
If
God.
I lose
Save-
power, I
you
can't
save our
save
work,
without
please.
without killing the show. I'm on it to laptop. We'll be fine.
Okay.
But if the internet dies, just hang in there and hopefully it'll come back. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
All right. The
Weather
only thing
update
he-
on the 1 to 9th.
The only thing he solved right now was how to save the human race as of now. So the human race is on their way to whatever planet Anne Hathaway is on, hopefully, to continue living. Later in the future, we finally, through much more science, much more, I don't know, learning, I don't know, we figure out how to control the fourth or fifth dimension and are able to then put those types of things together. It had nothing to do with what he was doing then. His goal was just to get them off of Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm still confused.
Okay.
And this is what I'm still confused about. And forgive me if you literally just said it, because I was in and out of listening to you, and I was reading. Someone was attempting to explain the paradox on IMDb, but that's a dangerous place to go.
Yeah.
So what I'm struggling with is this: is that everything thus far we've seen in the movie has been the result of Cooper affecting something.
Yes.
Right? So the ghosts are Cooper from the future forcing him to go to NASA. And then it's him trying to stop him by, Morse coding stay so that, Murph will make him stay, but he obviously doesn't, right? So then Tars shows up, right? And then they have a little chat, and then he has a Popeye moment, maybe. I don't know if you want to call it that. Yeah, then he gets his mental spinach, and then he realizes what this is. This place is a thing that that love, right? These these gravity beings, right, were able to, for whatever reason, focus in on this moment, this room, this singular place, because they don't know time. So time to them could be whatever, like a mountain they climb out or a valley they go into. They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Which we didn't eventually though find out though it's still people, it's humans, right? There are no aliens in this story. So the only reason why it would be her bedroom is because Matthew McConaughey built it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my question then. If he built it, and then later, once he quote unquote gives he has
Wait. Again, he did not build it.
No,
I think
he doesn't have to build it. No.
So who's the one that, because where I'm getting to is this is now, instead of, you used another time traveling movie reference. To me, this is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Oh, I have to remember in the future to leave a wrench here. Oh, there it is, and then whack. Like it's all he having to do is say, I have to now in the future remember to build this thing so I can come here and save the day. And since he's made the decision to do it, he's able to do it. Because
to us right now, yes, But to these interdimensional beings, time,
Which again, it's still
again,
humans. It's just humans.
yeah, the humans have no, they've mastered time. They've mastered it. And so they're able to freeze those moments in a dimension that made sense to Matthew McConaughey, but he physically couldn't, because you can't travel through time. He could not be there in the room physically. So only through gravity, which can go back in time,
Which is also a
was
good
he
movie.
able to communicate.
I get that. I get that. My issue is this. Simply this. Corny, you still with us? You haven't said anything in a while.
Oh no, I'm listening.
You
very
just
intently.
listen. You just listen to us nerds talk. And
Everything I have to say is just some funny quip, but
no,
I see both sides of the arguments. But my 2 cents. The time travel thing, you can never do it right because nowhere there's no. Actually, the only way you do time travel right is that if you go back in time, something has changed.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, Corny, I don't know if this is even an argument. I'm just confused because the movie doesn't tell us everything that I feel like I need to know. Again, 3-hour-long movie, you don't need to add more. In fact, you can cut a lot out. And this movie would still be, I think, a viable, good, entertaining movie. My issue simply is this: if we're saying the fifth dimension beings are humans so far into the future, so advanced that they're like, okay, we're now advanced to the point now that we have to now create this thing and stick it inside this black hole so that Coop can later save us. So we're doing it again. The future, in order for the future to exist, they have to do something in the past.
Well, then you get back to Einstein's theories of the circular time.
Yeah, but again, we're also talking about a theory, and again, my brain can't comprehend that.
Hey, believe me, I'm still not comprehending it. I'm just reading, the explanation of what they're trying to tell me about this, and heck, I don't even know if they could be right. So, it's theory. It's all theory, and
I feel like I need to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, like, hey, can you explain this? Because this is confusing as hell. Because, every example I can use, in order for us to win World War II, we would have had to, in 1995, go back in time and deliver the bomb to us in 1945. But we couldn't have done that had we not won World War II. That's the loop that we're stuck in. So, again,
what if our time travel is just to another dimension of some or another instance? The whole multiverse theory.
Well, but now that's a completely different theory altogether, and another one in which also kind of hurts my brain, unless you draw it out like they did in that Jet Li movie, where there are only 99 of them or something like that, something kind of weird. Neil deGrasse Tyson explains. I'll have to watch this later. I don't want to watch it on the show.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it. Have you watched it, Sam?
No, actually.
All right, it'll be good. We should watch it. Maybe next week we'll do a follow up. Oh, he explained it, and this is why.
Oh no, I feel so dumb.
Yeah. So that's.
You guys go ahead. I got this.
Yeah.
So really, that's kind of it. Really, with my issues with the movie. So what I'm saying is, to me, I think this is actually a pretty good movie. And I get why it was nominated for several Oscars. It's considered top 32 films on IMDb's top 250 list. I can get why some people like it. I also get why some people say you either get it or you don't, and if you don't like it. And I'm one of those people. I don't get it. And that's part of
I'm sorry you don't get it.
And that's part of what doesn't do the movie for me. If you had everything is the same except the future affects the past so that we could have the future. If we could do the rest of the movie, space exploration, Earth is dying, we need to get off the planet. Matt Damon goes space madness. Matthew McConaughey sacrifices himself, goes into a black hole. Even if he goes into a black hole and something else happens and he miraculously survives or gets shot out the other end or whatever. I don't know. You know, he gets pooped out or something. I don't know. Maybe I would have liked it more. I don't know. Maybe I wanted a little bit more fiction in my science fiction than this gave me. I don't know. So that all having been said,
Yes.
I'm out of notes, and I have said my piece, I think, as clearly and succinctly as I know how to.
I think I've said my piece too. Maybe not as clearly, but
just and again, I
feel better.
I don't. Again, I know that wasn't an argument by any means. That if you were expecting it, sorry, maybe I don't know, maybe not. I know. I think most people actually would agree. It's more fun when you get me frustrated, Sam. But in this case, and I actually wanted to ask you the question, Sam.
Okay.
I'm actually going to ask you this question because I know you have a thing for
Michael Kai.
No, for Christopher Nolan. I know you have a thing for him.
Yep.
So originally, excuse me, this movie was slated to have be directed by Spielberg. And it was going to be a very different film, and I didn't read it all because it was very long. So let's pretend that it wasn't Spielberg either. Let's pretend it was a David Fincher film. Okay, he's the guy that did The Notebook, not The Notebook, Facebook movie, the Facebook
The Social
movie.
Network.
The Social Network, yeah. Let's say this was him. He did it, right? Okay. Yeah. And let's say that the dude what scored the Social Network that won an Oscar that year, that beat this movie, by the way. No, it didn't beat this movie. It beat. I can't remember now. It doesn't matter.
With a different score?
Yeah, a different score.
The score makes it for me. It wouldn't be the same without this organ.
He was
absolutely
almost a spiritual. I mean, this organ gives it a whole nother level of I don't know.
No,
It's
again,
spiritual. It's amazing. It's an experience.
The organ bit is, I mean, it is that, and it gives you emotions while you're watching the movie. I mean, it's powerful and flippin' loud, and sometimes hard to hear people talk because they're whispering half the movie. But anyway, if it was a different, even if it's the same score, but a different director has a different feel, and you don't have that Christopher Nolan sunglasses on, are you as you know what I'm saying? Like, is that a fair question to ask, Sam? Is that are you still an ardent believer in this film?
Is the film the same? Like, I'm confused.
Everything from the first second to the last second is exactly the same, except it's a different director.
Oh yeah. I'm still. If it's exactly the same, I'm still a big fan.
Okay, because I've known some people, and myself included, and I think, and you maybe even to a point, that there are movies that you think that because of the director it's better, right? I tend to think that Spielberg movies are going to be better than non-Spielberg movies.
I will say I like War of the Worlds. I enjoy because it's a Spielberg film,
even though it's a horrible movie.
Even though it's a horrible film, and I'll admit that for sure. Yeah. But
all right,
I don't know. And you know me, I'm horrible with names, and I never owned any. Even back when I was in high school and college, I never owned any CDs of bands because I could care less about the band. I just like the one song.
Right.
I don't follow actors. There's very few people I actually follow.
Right.
So
okay,
I'm a little more on the end product than I am on who did it.
I mean, and that's fair to a point. I
know it drives you nuts, but
a little bit, especially since we do a movie podcast.
I'm such an expert.
Yeah. No. All right, so that's it. We want to play some. The only thing I was going to say is tropes, movie tropes. I wrote scientist doesn't believe in the supernatural, space madness, and robot comic relief. Those are the only ones I wrote. There might be more, but those are the ones I wrote. You ready for some clips? Some clippy clips?
Sure.
All right, good. Oh, I got to find it. Where'd you go? Okay, sorry, different computer. Here we go. I'm going to have to be Johnny on the spot with the pause button because it's going to keep going. So here we go. The boy would be really good at this at Cheap Seat Reviews. Oops.
What about the flat tire?
That's right. What about the flat tire? Here we go. Just kept on driving like it didn't matter. This is the best punishment you could ever have.
Murph got into a fistfight with several of her classmates over this Apollo nonsense. So we thought it would be best to bring you in and see what ideas you might have for dealing with her behavior on the home front.
Yeah, you know what? There's a game tomorrow night. She's going through a bit of a baseball phase. Her favorite team's playing. There's gonna be candy and soda. I think I'll take her to that.
I like that. I really did. I thought that
Yeah.
was good.
Is it bad that I see that? Well, I'm not going to get political, but it could be happening soon to other issues.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll just move on from there. This was another kind of humorous moment.
You sent people out there looking for a new home?
The Lazarus missions.
Well, that sounds cheerful.
Lazarus came back from the dead.
Sure, but he had to die in the first place.
There you go. Soft talking, loud music. Just go ahead and get used to it. This is 28 seconds of, I think, was pretty good dialogue. You're going to have to bear with it because there's a rocket happening in the background. So it's going to be a little noisy.
There he is, Mach 1. Everybody good? Plenty of slaves for my robot colony?
I gave him a humor setting so he'd fit in better with his unit. Thinks it relaxes us.
A giant, sarcastic robot. What a great idea.
I have a cue light I can use when I'm joking, if you like.
That'd probably help.
Yeah, you can use it to find your way back into the ship after I blow you out the airlock.
Oh, that was great. I wanted 25% more of that. That was great. Oh, wait, what?
Interesting.
Corny, you there?
I'm here.
It keeps crashing on you, huh?
Yeah.
Weird.
I noticed that your name keeps like disappearing and then coming back, so
Must be that fifth mission I keep going to.
yeah, you keep going.
It's where I keep all the snacks.
Oh, nice.
Could you imagine the ability to snack not just anywhere, but anytime?
Anytime? I don't know why I just thought about this, but that made me think of Groundhog Day for some reason. And then I thought, could you imagine Groundhog Day? Like, you could eat your favorite meal over and over and over, and you wouldn't get fat. I don't know why I thought about that.
They should re-release Groundhog Day and just put the same movie out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, as a joke? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot, actually. If they were going to re-release it, they would actually have to have, like, Melissa McCarthy as the character, though, for some reason.
Oh, no.
Trust settings.
Dr. Mann, please respond.
He doesn't know the endurance docking procedure.
Well, the autopilot does.
Not since TARS disabled it.
Nice. What's your trust setting, TARS?
Lower than yours, apparently.
Oh, I like that. Trust setting. I know I'm supposed to question, like, how can you have percentages on trust and humor and honesty, but I don't care. It was fun. I liked the robots. Like, we don't question them when they did stuff like this in Star Wars. Like, why should robots even have personalities? They shouldn't, but it makes life more fun because Wall-E is cute, you know? So I'm good with that. I'm fine with it. It was great. Asshole.
Cooper, you can't ask TARS to do this for us.
He's a robot. See, I don't have to ask him to do anything.
Cooper, you asshole.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
There you go, asshole. In case you were wondering what the big space thingy was.
Did it work?
I think it might have.
How do you know?
Because the bulk beams are closing the Tesseract.
The what? The bulk beings? The what?
The boat beings?
So this is the thing is, all right, what is he saying?
Because the bulk beams are closing.
Anybody?
Bulk beings are closing.
Bulk beings? Is that a thing? I mean, I'm legitimately asking because I didn't know. I've now listened to this clip 17 times and I still have no idea what he says.
Because the bulk beams are closing the Tesseract.
Bulk beams? Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I need to.
Rosebud.
Someone needs to go find the what's it
Script.
called? Not the script, but the thing. You know, the thing. Oops, not goofs. Oh, there's a boom mic visible apparently. Visible in the rearview mirror of the car when Cooper has to say goodbye to his son and closes the car door. Oh, that's fine. Gee, you okay, Sam?
Yeah, sorry. I think I hear my daughter crying.
Oh, okay.
Don't they know that the booms are supposed to go under the Dodge Ram?
No, I guess they don't.
You don't want to spook it.
No, you don't. Ooh, bless you.
All sorts of
Fifth
noise.
dimension sneeze.
It's a fifth dimension sneeze. Okay, I'm actually really curious now. Here we go. TARS. TARS looking for you. Joking. I really want to know what he says because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, would it be on the
I'm on the quotes page of the
subtitles?
Yeah, if you want to go back and.
It's when the right at the end of the your favorite scene, right?
Yeah. Wait, what?
What?
All right, still looking. Sorry, I know this is awkward. Okay, I'm about to. Did it work? I think it might have. How do you know? Because the bulk beings are closing the Tesseract. That's what he says.
Weird.
Don't you get it yet, TARS? They're not beings. They're us. What I've been doing for Murph, they're doing for me, for all of us. Cooper, people couldn't build this. No, not yet. But I can't do his voice. No, not yet. But one day.
No, not yet.
Somewhere like Forrest Gump. Not you and me, but a
That's
people,
true.
a civilization that's evolved beyond the 4 dimensions that we know. Okay, so I guess he actually says the thing that I'm confused about is that it was people, humans, but so far into the future that they created it. So I missed that somehow. So I'm glad I actually did this little exercise. It still doesn't mean that I get what they're doing, though. Anyway, the last one, settings.
Honesty, new setting. 95%.
Confirmed. Additional customization.
Humor. 75%.
Confirmed. Auto self-destruct, T-10. 9.
Let's make that 60%.
60% confirmed. Knock, knock.
You want 55?
The part that I like is when he accepts that it's now 60%. He sounds sad.
Yes.
He's like,
60%.
Like you wanted it to be a yeah.
60% confirmed.
Oh, I'm bored now because
Oh,
I don't get to
man.
make blow-up jokes and kill you. All right.
Sean has muted me again on the podcast. Oh.
Oh, I forgot to pull over the clip of now for
Pesci?
some more bad news. Ready? So just pretend that happened and some trivia. I'm gonna cook through this because this show is getting a little long, like the movie.
Yeah.
Method of space travel in the film was based on Kip Thorne's works, physicist Kip Thorne's, which were also the basis method for space travel in Carl Sagan's movie Contact. There you go, Contact reference. The majority of the shot of TARS was not computer generated, but rather TARS was a practical puppet controlled and voiced by Bill Irwin. Kind of like what they did for R2-D2 in the Phantom Menace. Not R2-D2.
Isn't that the Crocodile Hunter?
C-3PO. Nice.
Crikey.
Christopher Nolan watched the Dust Bowl documentary by Ken Burns. Good job. You'll like this, Sam.
Yes.
Several tracks of Hans Zimmer's original score are recorded at a tempo of 1 beat per second, or 60 beats per minute, precisely matching the passage of time, a recurring theme of the movie. I thought that was actually kind of cool. And Christopher Nolan says this is the most powerful thing that Hans Zimmer ever wrote. And TARS, I wrote that one. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to do the recasting bit because this is a pretty new movie, and frankly, I think the cast was great.
Yep.
Soundtrack grade, we're just going to all say it was flipping awesome. I thought it was great. Fantastic.
Oh, it made the movie.
I did. It really did. It made the movie better, I thought. There we go. I do have this clip. top 3. So we decided to do. Hopefully, everybody's had a chance to take a look and do this. Black hole / wormhole movies. We had a lot of jokes before the show about other terms for black holes. And
I will just.
Andrew
I will
did-
say, if you're searching this online, make sure that you put an L in holes.
Yeah.
Or some interesting sites come up.
Yeah, and make sure you have your safe search on, or not at work. Anyway, not at work. So, Andrew, your top 3 black hole wormhole movies.
Okay. Well, I have an honorable mention, and it's an honorable mention because it might be a stretch.
Okay.
But I personally like to think this would be a wormhole, alternate dimension type movie. Wreck-It Ralph. Where he travels to.
Are you saying the wormhole is the power strips that he goes through?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, that's a stretch.
Yeah, it's a stretch. And that's why it's an honorable mention.
I will allow it.
So suck it. Okay. Number 3. I'm going to go with Tomorrowland.
All right.
Number 2, The Avengers.
Just real quick. Oh, Avengers. Real quick. Didn't you think that the first half of Tomorrowland was actually really good?
Yeah.
And then it just got kind of dumb, right?
It did. I enjoyed the movie, but it got dumb towards the end.
I liked that kind of like in his house. It's all kind of steampunky and kind of fun. Like I liked that. I wanted way more of that. But anyway, instead we just got weird Hugh Laurie doing stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so you said Avengers is number 2.
Yeah, Tomorrowland 3, Avengers 2, and then number 1, Big Hero 6.
Oh, right on. Yeah, they do go through a little wormhole action there. All right, I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Corny.
Okay, so it's a little hard for me because but I'm gonna go with Thor as my number 3. We're just gonna count the Rainbow Bridge.
No, yeah, I get that. Einstein-Rosen Bridge, yeah.
All right, and my number 2. I need a clarification. Can the one with Jet Li be that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. They're kind of going through wormholes, like they have controlled wormholes.
That's true. All right, and then so my number 1 will be The Avengers.
All right, right on. I'm actually surprised it made so many people's lists. Sam, because it made my list too. Sam,
check behind your bookcase.
I actually don't have a bookcase. Maybe his daughter was crying and he had to leave.
Well, that might be what happened.
So, I will say mine then. Since
Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park.
So since Avengers has been said, I will switch my Avengers movie out with a different one. So, oh my gosh, my honorable mention will then be Wing Commander. Right, remember that one for the show? Wing Commander. They go through black holes. They're jumping quasars and pulsars and all kinds of other nonsense. There. So my number 3 will be Galaxy Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, Galaxy Quest. I love that movie so much. Number 2, the Disney movie The Black Hole. I bet you none of you've seen that. Or even have heard of it. You ever heard of it?
No.
It's actually kind of cool in a Disney kind of way. And there's flying robots, and there's another robot that has like slicing arm action. It's very weird. And my number 1 will, of course, have to be... Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm dying. My number 1 would have to be the Star Trek 09. Spock comes through the black hole, so do the Romulans. Sam, you back yet?
Oh gosh, okay. I just got back.
No,
Sorry about that.
No, we figured your daughter was crying and you had to go deal with that.
Yeah, she was inching up the hallway like an inchworm.
Yeah.
Each time she'd move, she'd scream a little bit louder. So I figured it wouldn't make good podcast material.
All right, so we.
All right.
Who did you hear? Who did you miss?
Nobody. I didn't get to hear anybody.
Oh well, we're not going to do it. So just do yours.
All right. I've got my my number 3 is Sphere.
Okay.
Michael Crichton book.
Yeah.
Turned into a movie with those people.
A bad movie.
Yeah.
Have we done that movie? I can't remember.
No.
My number 2 is Big Hero 6.
All right. Andrew said that one.
Okay. And my number 1 is Avengers.
Cool. We all had Avengers in our list. That's great.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Email. I threatened to do this last week. All right. But since no one wants to send us an email, fine. I'm going to read the one that's in my inbox right now. Build a better website in less than an hour with Go Central. That's with GoDaddy.com. That's right. Start here for your free trial. There's a picture of a dude with the title that says The Internet, and he's doing funny little things and making funny faces.
I think that Jen has abandoned us.
Watch the Internet in action. There's somebody dabbing, and then here it says unsubscribe instructions. Click here to unsubscribe. There you go. That's what you're going to get.
Did you click there to unsubscribe?
No, I didn't. It's GoDaddy. I need to get their stuff there because they host our website. And then I got something else, something about somebody wanting to get in touch because I'm looking for podcasters and bloggers. So there you go. I'm not going to read that email though because I'm not going to.
Because we might actually use that one.
I don't know. Probably not. But anyway, there you go. So that's what you get. That's what happens when you do. We don't send emails into the show.
I'd love to know who agrees with Shawn on this one.
I do too. If you think if you're kind of with me where you're not sure about the whys and the hows and maybe the physics of it and whatever, then fine. If you're with Sam and you just say, you know what, I don't really that stuff doesn't matter because of the reason.
Really, I mean, it all boils down to that I'm smart enough to understand.
I don't think that's it.
I was wondering if that was going to come out.
I don't think that's it. Out of 10. Andrew, I like how you updated this thing where it says Andrew/Chad.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
You're welcome.
I just noticed that. Oh,
well, there were so many episodes that had Chad, and then of course there was a couple crossover episodes. So I was like,
No, I'm with you.
Nice.
So Andrew/Chad.
All right. Like I said when we started, I really like the movie. I think it's done beautifully. The acting is good. The storyline for me is great. We mentioned a few issues. I agree with Sam. There's a few things that are too clean in the beginning in that first act, and the second, third, and fourth, if you want to say that, I like them. I think they were all done very well, and I don't have a problem overlooking the scientific nature or the scientific issues that are underlying that we don't understand, and I just, I put it to beyond my pea-brain knowledge, and just turn off the brain and enjoy the movie. And I think it was
you're
done very
deeply
well.
depleted and plebeian state of mind.
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
Yes. So I am going to give this an 8.5.
All right.
Oh wow,
nice.
Okay, right on. There you go.
And a good portion of that score is from Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
So you scored because of the score. I like it.
Yes.
Corny.
Yo.
Fermented corn.
Let's see. Like I said, I came in with a different mindset to the movie as opposed to going in, with an open mind. But it was a very well done movie, regardless of how I feel about it. But it was long, and I think they could have cut some things out. So I won't go quite as high as Andrew, but I'm going to give it a 7.4.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. Same wise.
I'm basically aligning with Andrew on this one quite a bit. First act, it could have been almost a perfect movie to me without the first act. I had a hard time with that. I was okay with time travel and bookcases and all that sort of stuff. obviously, because we've been arguing that for weeks. The score is an experience, and to hear it like I did in IMAX, and the visuals along with the score is just a perfect combination. So I don't think I'm going to go quietly into the good night with a low score on this one. I'm going to give it a good 8.7. 8.7 sucker punches by a farmer out of 10.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yep.
So as I was trying to kind of put a number to my feeling on this movie, because it's kind of hard sometimes to do this.
That's what she said.
Oh, yeesh. So I kind of realized this. I didn't do it in my intro, and I have yet to really say it out loud for this movie, how I actually feel about the movie itself. You know, when someone says, "Oh, what movie are you doing this week?" Interstellar. Oh, what'd you think? You know, I don't give them the full dissertation that I gave you guys in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll simply say this. I'm going to give the movie a 7.0. Straight up 7.0. For these reasons. It is beautifully shot. Obviously we've said lots of great things about the score. It is wonderfully acted. My issues aside of the movie, I still think it's a really good film. I think it's too long. Will I watch it again? Sure. I probably need a year away from it to get away from it a little while. I might do some research, watch this video that you found, and maybe that'll help. I don't know.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
As in, like, it won't help me or it won't help Sam.
It won't give you an answer.
Okay.
But it does give you some pretty interesting
things to think about.
Sorry, Neil. NGT or NDT.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. He gives all the science and the only way he can, and I mean it's fun, but it doesn't help the end of the movie.
Okay, well that's fine. Again, the premise, I think the whole premise of the whole movie, I think, is a little far fetched and ridiculous, but for the most part, this viewing, the movie held my attention. I was captivated by the different planets and the different things that they had to go through, the struggles they were going through, albeit due to mostly human error, and the lack of them having a script writer that would say they would probably have scientific instruments to help them off in life instead of them literally flying by the seat of their pants, but fine. So that's why it's not going to ever get a perfect score for me, even if I ever buy into the time as a circular deal. The movie has enough flaws in that of itself. So it gets a 7 out of me for the basic fact that it's still a fine film. I mean, like, and we said that in other movies, right? Like Wolf of Wall Street it was a wonderful film. I don't ever want to watch it again. And frankly, the people that are in the movie make me sick to my stomach, but I can see that it was, in fact, a wonderful film. It was a great film. I use the word great, and I don't use the word great very often. And you guys know that. I'm very particular with my word selection. So I think this is a very good movie, and I think my score reflects it. And Sam, don't you go in there and start changing my scores now.
No, I wanted to see what the average was. 7.9.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's going to be pretty high, probably high up there. I don't know if I want to do that movie. Are we doing that movie next? So what we're doing next? That's it. So 7.9 is our score. That was great. So that's it for the show. I know this episode's a little long, but the movie's 3 hours long. We had so we
had a lot to talk about.
We did, and I'm glad we did. So.
Oh God, is this really the next step?
That's what I put on there. It doesn't have to be that. What do you think, Sam? You're the only one in the notes.
Boy, you talk about two totally different things.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I say we do it because it's stupid as hell. So next week,
let's do it.
We talked about this last week on the show. I kind of wanted to do it. I'm inserting this for my own benefit, and of
That's
course,
not what she said.
And of nice, and of course, if one of you guys start watching this thing and say hell no, then we'll go on to the next one. So as of right now, the next movie is The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. It's only on YouTube. So there you go. It's only on YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. If one of you guys say, hell no, I'm not watching this. This is too whatever. The next movie,
Here's the thing too. We just watched 2 really good movies, so we're due.
We're due a real shit film, and this is it.
Yeah.
And then the movie after that is Spectral, which was requested by JP, my brother-in-law. And I remember the email specifically. He said it's pretty good for a sci-fi film or something like that. So
I thought that was a show. Is that a show or is that a movie?
I think it's a Netflix original movie.
Okay.
It's called Spectral. So I think it's a little spacey kind of also. So you're gonna get a little karate action in between your space movies.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. That's gonna do it for us.
All right. Been fun.
It has been a blast. Pun completely intended. And that's going to do it for us. And I'm excited to talk to you guys again. Where is my flipping thing? Sorry. Again, wrong computer. Here we go. All right, I'm all discombobulated, but what else is new? Yeah, Spectral. Yeah, it's a movie.
It's a movie, yeah.
We can't see them. Bullets don't stop them. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Anyway, that's going to do it. Oh, I freaking just navigated away from my script. I don't know what to say.
Thank you for listening
Thank
to
you for
CheapSeat
listening
Reviews.
to the podcast.
Check us out on...
Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. Check out our website, CheapSeatReviews.com. I can't believe I did that. Leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, wherever. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/CheapSeatReviews. Follow us on Twitter @CheapSeatCast. And, of course, you may send us your emails, if you so choose, to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. Real quick, funny story while I buy time for the music to complete playing out. I got a Twitter message about 4 days ago from someone who tried to call the phone number on my Twitter page. And he's like, it didn't work. And I was like, yeah, we disconnected that because no one used it. So, and I was like, so send an email. And he didn't. But if you're listening and you tried to call the show, feel free to email, or even if you just Twitter message us. If it's something relative to the show, then I will certainly read it on air. So there you go. So on behalf of Corny, Andrew, Sam, and Michael Caine, this is Shawn saying thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the future past. I mean,
Michael Caine.
Like technically, the podcast is kind of.
What about the flat tire?